Watch out for glass. Stay down there.
He's done no wrong, bro. I ain't even done no wrong anyway.
That's it.
Why, you clogged up my temper.
No, it's probably about 4 foot tall.
Alright then, so this is a case of drunken disorderly. So that's what he's being arrested for, drunken disorderly, because some PCSOs wanted to move him on. And he wasn't so happy about being moved on. So he was being a bit verbally abusive. So in this case, I'm not really criticising the action that took to move him on because he was being drunk and disorderly. So I'm not going to criticise that whatsoever. But what I am going to criticise is the fact that, as you see now, they put him to the floor, which could be an arguable excuse that it was a bit unnecessary. It was and it wasn't, because he was lashing out, so he deserved to be on the floor. But the other thing I really want to criticise is all of his property got put in the bin. Yes, they threw his property away. They let some random guy walk up and say that's his bag, and take his rucksack, and then his property, what he had on him, they threw in the bin. That's what I want to criticise on this one, because they have no right to throw your property away. But let's just get straight into it.
Oh, flip's going on now.
Keep it going, just keep it going, go on. I'll take the job off. Alright.
Yeah, you want to get locked into
Yeah, you tell them what.
Okay then, so at this moment in time, he could actually be charged with a Section 5, which would be harassment, alarm or distress. A person is guilty of an offence if he uses threatening or abusive words or behaviour or disorderly behaviour, or displays any written sign or other visual representation which is threatening or abusive within the hearing or sight of a person likely to be caused harassment, alarm or distress, thereby an offence under this section may be committed in a public place or a private place, except that an offence is committed where the whole word or behaviour or use or used or the writing, sign or other visual representation is displayed by a person inside a dwelling, and on a person is also inside of another dwelling. Right, so he did make a threat there, so he could be committing a Section 5, but these are PCSOs, and all they can do is radio through for police to actually turn up, and then relay over to the police what he had done. So he could be committing a Section 5, and Section 5 is probably what he should have been done for. But we'll get into the other things as well, because it is drunk and disorderly. So they could do him for both. But we'll continue into the video.
I would like to spend my money. Well, I'm going to spend this week. I know because you're a fucking asshole.
These guys have drunk out here every day.
Why do we need to move up the wall? Why these girls are sitting there, in benefit, they need to be escorted home. They need to be escorted home. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not allowed to sit down there, so I'm up here, and now you give me bullshit. Fuck you, fucking dumb shit, well. Yeah, you don't like it? That's how I work. Right,
You're not going to show
I don't.
I need to.
Yeah, and I need to do it, and I get that.
You said to me that you look after me and
And I will look up.
now how can you look after me when I told you?
They're not gonna lock me up for what? What are you gonna lock me up for?
Being
By
horrible.
telling you to kiss my arse?
Yes, being horrible.
You can't do it.
Being dysfunctional.
What is she going on about?
Yeah.
Well, I will let the officer decide on that.
Tell them to go fuck this.
Okay, you can tell them that as well.
I told you lot to get lost and leave me alone. But basically, you're harassing me.
No.
No, you are harassing me. So can you lot fuck off and leave me alone?
Alright then, so the key question at this point is he right? Was he moved on from further up and has moved here and now they've come over again and told him to move on? Is their presence alone causing this sort of behaviour? Are they aggravating the situation? The answer to all them is probably yeah. In my opinion, it's probably yeah. So, could all this have been resolved if they just left him alone? The answer is probably yeah. Would he have been drunk and disorderly? Probably not. He probably would have sat there with these two people and continued having the conversation or whatever he was doing with them. Now, if the problem is that they're drinking in public, you can use your designated powers, which you've got, to empty their alcohol and pour it away. That is it. But without your designated powers and your designation card, you've got no powers whatsoever. And you stood there talking to them when he's asked you to leave him alone could amount to harassment. Could amount to harassment. It never will because they're on the side of the blue, aren't they? So no matter what they say, it's going to be believed of you. So that's just my opinion on this little bit here.
It's a very strange place.
Hey, you guys, you what?
Yeah, they're good, alright. I love those commute sport. Behave yourself on camera.
So, you're still drinking, are you not?
it's not.
Well, unfortunately, you can't, can you? No, you can't. Huh? No, I'm not bothering you. Just making sure these girls are okay. You've decided, okay, to be aggressive in your demeanour towards my colleague. Call them in an expletive word more than once.
No, I told you to
It's not
do
acceptable behaviour. Sorry, it's not acceptable. No, not acceptable, Phil.
Well, you can't arrest me for what?
Yeah, they can do.
You're horrible.
What are you going to arrest me for?
You're horrible.
Well, I haven't done nothing wrong.
Ash is coming.
I'm just sitting here.
Nah, you've been really horrible.
And I'm trying to be nice.
Four.
No, I'm not.
Listen,
Five. Where did this guy come from?
we've said
Hey, I'm being nice. I said I'll leave now. I'm not being nasty. I'm just trying to. I'm willing to walk away, bro.
That's alright.
Oh, come on, then. Wait, I'm willing to walk away.
a bad cat.
I'm willing to go home, innit?
Right, let's go. I'm going to seize that beer as well.
There you go.
Right,
You can
that
do
beer
it.
there.
Hey, I'm willing to go home, innit?
No flashing lights.
Hey, I was only sitting down. Got my back. Take my back. Where you lot?
Where did he come
What
from?
are you going to do? It's not
Got a bottle of beer in his
They've got one of wine down this way.
Yeah, I've got one. Oh, yes. We got my back then, please. Yeah. Now can you grab my back that's behind you, please? You grab me for what? Drunken disorderly?
Okay then, so he is being arrested for drunken disorderly, which is section 91 of the Criminal Justice Act of 1967, which says drunken in a public place. Any person, I'll just let it read it out loud to you. This is the only bit which is...
Any person who in any public place is guilty, while drunk, of disorderly behaviour F1, shall be liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding F2 level 3 on the standard scale.
So what a level 3 fine is on the standard scale is around £1,000. So that's what he's going to get, £1,000 fine. This here is just on about the acts which can enforce it. And if you look at most of the dates, 18th century, 18. And in the back then it was imprisonment and a £10 fine or both. But remember what he said, grab my bag which is behind you. That black bag what was on the floor behind him. Remember that. Because that's one thing I did not agree with in this situation. I agree with the drunken disorderly, he was being drunken disorderly. But was he drunken disorderly because of the harassment from the PCSOs? Well, that is for a court to decide if he takes it that far. But yeah, that would be for the courts to decide, not me. In my opinion, I already said I do believe he was drunk and disorderly. He was acting the way he was because of the PCSOs harassing him, in my opinion. But remember, now I believe this arrest is legitimate. I'm not going to criticise the arrest. What I'm criticising now is what they do with his property. So now he's turned around and said, the bag was behind him. Bear that in mind. The bottle they've taken off him's open so they can legally pour it out. But everything else to take off him after the arrest should stay with him. So let's get back into the video.
This guy's got no epaulets on.
You little fucking fucking you I haven't done nothing wrong. You want my drink as well? Why? Why did you go for a van? Why? I'll go with him. has to be literally told what the government is doing. This is a joke.
Let's go, just rock and roll. Do you need a carry bag for that? Have you got a bag? Okay, okay.
Oh, yeah, it's got some epaulets on.
No, black bag. Purple bag? The black bag was covered fucking shit. That was sitting behind
Where the flip did I? Sandwich nicker.
Okay then, so like I said, remember that black bag. This cop has just let some random guy walk up out of nowhere, claim that that bag's his, go through the bag, take one thing out of it, which he said was the bottle of wine, which he said was the person being arrested, and then walk off with the bag. Now that to me is not right. The guy specifically said the bag which is behind you, and if you look at the video when he said that, the bag what was behind him was that bag. That's why he picked it up and moved it over there. But yet, he's not going to ask the person if it's his bag or not, because he's been arrested, and he's just going to let some complete random stranger walk up, claim it's his bag, and walk off with that bag. Now, that to me is a failing. But it gets worse than that. Because not only has he let somebody walk off with his property, which could possibly be theft. Bear in mind, as soon as this guy is in handcuffs, him and his property becomes responsibility of the police. So the police have allowed that property to be taken. But like I said, it gets worse than that. So let's continue back into the video.
Yeah, don't headbutt my colleague. Come on the floor. Watch out for glass. Stay down there.
I didn't done no wrong, bro. I didn't done no wrong anyway.
At first,
Pack it in
school
now.
PCS social like it.
Right?
What's the other thing? Oh yeah, straps.
Yes, keep kicking out. I'm trying to headbutt him.
Headbutt what? What do you mean?
Just tried.
You ain't gonna get out of here. You're right, Nah, I'm good.
Excuse me. What's going on? Oh, guys, just move on, please. Oh, should we move on? What did you do? What happened? Look at that guy. Excuse me, what happened?
Where are you?
Pack it in.
John? Where is he?
Maybe go on Morrison's.
It does look a bit. It looks like me like a few months ago. It's a drunk.
Nah, it's right, mate. Keep touching my things, bro. Nah, it's right. Can I lift my face up, please?
How many drinks has this guy got in his pocket?
packing it.
Right, see, if I don't, mate, I'll make sure I'll sue you for it. I'll sue you for it. Oh, you see that, innit?
I'll move your car.
Yeah, you see that. Smash the head out of my floor. Yeah, listen. For what?
You're still drinking on the street, you get drunk and disorderly all of a sudden. These guys are still clicking cans open. What the flip's going on? How can be drunk and disorderly when you guys are clicking cans open? Huh? I'm recording the incident.
Stop it, please.
I can't, I'm recording the incident. You know how police get. It's small for it's safer.
If I recorded you,
Yeah, I won't care, I won't care. There's cameras everywhere.
Right, John.
I know who it is.
Huh? What the flip?
Didn't mean to stare right into his eyes.
Oh, no.
You ain't got cancer.
His cock is about 4 foot tall.
And there's the other thing I've got a problem with. This copper, which has just jumped out the van, has picked up his property, which they had taken off him during the search, because they searched him while he was on the floor and taken those bottles, which was unopened, and thrown them in the bin. So they have binned his property. So they deprived him of his property because they're in the bin now. That is another issue I have got. Regardless if he was drunk and disorderly or whatever you want to say, they've taken his property and put it in the bin. They have no legal right to bin his property. And they also did not do a very dignified search. His trousers was pulled down, his ass crack was out. That is very humiliating for this person. Now, if he was to go for legal action, that could be a legal basis to sue him. Could. I'm not saying it is. I'm not giving anybody any advice. It could, and that's that. The fact that they binned his property and let somebody walk away with his property is the biggest issue in my eyes in this. Because he was being drunk and disorderly. He did try headbutting a copper, so he did deserve to be on the floor. And then he continued to wriggle and worm, so he got restrained, which is all. It's all a use of force, but reasonable use of force, in my opinion, in this. But like I said at the beginning of the video, my biggest problem is the fact that they binned his property. They have, like I keep saying, they have no legal right to bin his property. None whatsoever. That property and him is your responsibility. Your responsibility as police. As soon as he is arrested, it becomes your responsibility to look after him and his property. And the fact that you've let somebody walk away with his property and you've just binned his property as well, I think is absolutely disgusting. And a failing of the police.
What the shit?
Phil, you can have a walk. Cool, lovely.
There you go.
Sorry, figure this out. Camera, yeah.
You're going to go?
Yeah, well.
You just
Oh, all I was going was the subway.
Oh, let's see this. Oh, shit. They actually get their carry me to the back.
You have to get his trainers.
Nah, mate, I've got to make sure.
Okay.
Oh, Morrison shopping basket. Let's get a flip out of here, guys. This guy's gone. Officer, I think he's dropped a tenner.
Who's that?
I don't know, I just found it on the floor down here. It looked like probably is, or that girl that was with. I think he's dropped a tenner.
Alright. I don't want it. Whose is it?
I think it was his, I'm not sure. He was sitting there on the floor. Probably that girl's or something. Probably buy some more alcohol. Let's get out of here, guys.
So there you go. They don't care about anybody's property, as you've just heard there. He's found a tenner. What he should have said, it's his money. It dropped out of his pocket to see what they'd do. Because then at least he could have gone and replaced the beers there he had thrown away. Or got a bloody taxi or a bus fare back to wherever he needs to be. Because when he gets released, that's it. If he's got no money or nothing on him, he's walking from wherever he is. So, with that tenner, at least he could have been thinking, because they would have asked to give him it or keep hold of it. But instead, they put it in the shop and said, they can just go there. We don't care. We don't care whose it is. We don't care the fact that we've binned his property and let somebody walk away with his property. We don't care about any of that. It's basically what they're getting from me at this. Now, like I said, the arrest in my eyes was completely lawful. Would it have happened if the PCSOs didn't aggravate the situation? Who knows? The binning of the property and letting somebody walk away with the property is where I have the issue. That to me was out of order. And the fact that they left him undignified with his trousers down and his ass crack out. That one copper did come and pull him up before they carried him away, which, good. But everything said in this is just my opinion. So, let us know in the comments down below. No, yeah, everything said in this is just my opinion. I want to thank my members for joining the channel. Name is already up on the screen. And if you want to become a member, click the join button, pick a tier, get the perks. And yeah, that's it. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. As always, like the video. It does help in YouTube's algorithm. And I'll catch you on the next one.